Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Hi.
Today we're doing a battle report with the mightiest of empires. Like our previous battle reports, we're trying to be as faithful to an actual game. This one's not quite as tactical as some of the other ones we've done. It's a little bit more of a board game with elements. But anyway, we're going to have the battle. We'll explain what we're doing as we go along, and then afterwards we'll give our thoughts about how the game went and our thoughts on the game in general. This was an early 90s GW game, and from the map you can see it's quite colourful. It looks a bit like Carcassonne or something.
It's cute.
So yeah, it's all resolved from like every turn. It's like roll a d6, like it's literally like that. You don't know. There's no kind of forced advantage or whatever. So
yeah, it's they're rolling a lot of tables, definitely.
We've got secret amounts of points in. Oh, sorry. Each banner has a secret amount of points, and we're both playing 3,000 points in total. So it's minimum 500, maximum 1,500. We'll get into fight and stuff later. The start of the game, that doesn't really happen. You'll probably think that the map's quite small. We always play it so as soon as we find the first two tiles, the startup tiles, we go.
These ones are the dots on, so you got two of those. That's a starting position. Yeah,
so that basically forces us to so the map can be quite a lot bigger, or quite a lot smaller, or quite a lot more random. The rules for this are a bit weird because they actually don't really tell you like here's the optimal size or what you should be doing. It really is a kind of a sandbox.
Well, that's spun out of the fact that it's a campaign management system. Really, and what they've done is they've tacked on they put some rules in so you can play as a standalone game, which is interesting.
It is. All right, so to start off, you can see that I started off with a city, and I started off with a fortress and a village.
That's randomly generated.
Everything's randomly generated.
Check the tiles around your city.
I went first, and I managed to go down and find a city here, and then I found another city there, which is pretty lucky. Pete's already a bit annoyed.
The
way to start.
So what you do is you get your banners. They peek into the next tile, if you like. That's called scouting, and they see what they see, and then in the next phase they can choose to move into there because they might find something nasty. As Sai did, he found this independent.
I'll point out
rebellious city.
I'm also the orcs, so I can actually do a double march. It usually kills my guys, but it makes me clearly walk faster and discover more.
The WA rule.
In such a small game, it's not really much different, but I found this yellow. We're playing yellow as neutral. They're usually the orange stickers, but yellow are basically with no one. So we got a yellow village and a yellow city. So that's basically the clear path across. We got 6 turns. What else did I do? I managed to discover a barren place
boring.
there, so that was pretty boring. And then I decided not to walk into this. I'm not going to invade. I'm not invading. I'll leave these guys to it. And Pete, what did you do on your turn?
I didn't find. Well, you found 2 cities, one of which was rebellious, and I found one fishing village.
3 cities.
3 cities, yeah. Which is pretty random. You roll 2d6 when you scout.
It's only one. I rolled 10 3 times.
Yeah, that's it. That one was rebellious because you rolled a double 5 for that one.
Yeah.
I got a coastal village, and I got ambushed, didn't I? Tried to scout this hex, and rolled a certain number that said you don't find anything, but you suffer an event. So we suffered the event, and it's bandits have waylaid you scouting dudes, so you fail to scout and you can't move. So it's pretty rubbish.
Turn 1, it looks like this is an orc region.
It looks like we set up my Bretonian empire in the middle of an orc nation, it looks like, but we'll see how it goes.
Let's go into turn 2. Okay, so turn 2. Eventful.
So Sai got the initiative. Came sweeping in, didn't you?
I went in and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go in and fight them. I found out he had far less troops than me, so I had an advantage. But we rolled off and nothing actually happened. Those guys just walked back.
A bit of a draw, wasn't it?
So we had a draw. We lost equal amount of troops or whatever. Was that right? Or no, I lost a load more troops. I lost 300 and he lost 200. So overall, basically, I'd be pushed back into the barrens. Then in Pete's turn.
So my turn. So half my force was pretty much pushed back into this coastal fort, and put them near the other guys. So we had this independent, rebellious city here. So we stormed in there and had a go at them. So they get. We had to siege them, didn't we? Because you roll randomly as you do with a lot of things in this game. They had 1,200 points in there. I'm pushing about 2,000, well, about 3,000 points on in full force.
Just shy of it.
And I managed to completely storm it, and that's now my city. They're under my
blue city.
Steel Fist rule. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're heading into turn 3. I actually pointed out to Pete at the start. I said, if I win this initiative roll, I can actually just force march myself straight into
a rule the orcs have. They can starve themselves to go on an extra hex.
Yeah, and Pete was like, yeah, okay, well, let's see.
Well, there's nothing I could do about it. So
we rolled. I won the initiative. Walked straight in. Starved myself. Like I was already half starved. These orcs literally were just taking casualties,
dead bodies along the road. Yeah.
But they walked straight into his city, into his capital city, and then we got to turn 3 here. Pete was like, oh, what can I do? And he's actually in limbo here. He can't even make it back to his city.
I formed a new city. I don't care. No, we all left. We're on the run.
So yeah, in essence, I've kind of ruined the game here
by winning it.
yeah. Well, so it's a shorter review than should have.
But what? Yeah. So moving on to the game itself. I mean, obviously, what this was intended for, I think, back in the day, and it's riddled throughout the book, isn't it? That every time our banners meet, we should have a Warhammer tabletop battle.
Yeah. All right. Look. Let's conclude, and now we'll talk about the game of Mighty Empires in its glory. This is one of GW's earlier efforts, and you can really see that there's a lot of random elements in it, like so random that the game turns itself upside down straight away.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we agreed to use 3,000 points each, but when we were playing to the full rules, you kind of roll randomly. And I ended up with way more points than Sai in one of our first games, didn't I? And that kind of swung it my way.
But then straight away, like in this game, when I started off with all these cities, it just felt like, well, this isn't fair straight away. But that's the nature of the game.
Yeah, and what you didn't get to see is those cities are a big advantage when you get to the winter phase. You can go through a winter, can't you?
Yeah, the winter phase actually is, in my opinion, the thing that makes the game very interesting. Because then you start getting these magic spells. But then this book has put in too much again. Like
it's neither one thing or the other, is it? Really, it's kind of like it's more. To my mind, it's more of a campaign manager than a standalone game. It's like they changed course halfway through, didn't they?
Yeah.
And said, oh no, we can sell more of these if we make it standalone playable. Now later, of course, GW followers will know they brought out Mighty Empires, which was just a campaign system. I think it was just a map with all the bits, plastic pieces, and there was no rules for a game in that because it's a pretty map maker,
It's
a fun little game though, isn't it?
I nearly think it's a shame that they didn't go more into the idea of just the map just this without the campaign. Because I think that then it could have been more solid. If they sort of like the idea of putting these hexes down, the Carcassonne kind of thing is great, but it spends a long time just explaining really kind of frivolous rules. About like how you can only walk on these hexes if you are on this side of this.
There's about 10 pages of how to set up the map, which really is just put a tile down and then pick random tiles that match the edges and go for it. Or you can just make up your own recreation of Middle Earth or the Pennines or whatever you want to do. It's kind of like do what you like. That's what the rules say.
One of the things I thought was really good, but like also kind of bad in this was when you get to the winter stage, it makes it go through all these different phases of do magic, do this, do this,
11 stages to winter, but
you only get so much money. Your villages and towns generate money, but there's only so much you can actually buy with it. But it really kind of gives you so many options, but you can't do it. Like you're literally going to go, no, I want troops and I want baggage. That's the only things you can actually really buy. But you
can send out spies, can't you? And all sorts
the
of things.
spies.
We never used the ships, but the ships where you can tinker about the coast and things like that.
They give you extra currency. There's so many things that are just sort of. This game's so grand and big.
I'll tell you what it is.
I
think what it ended up being is a toolbox. You can pick and choose bits you want to do. You can play it as a board game over an hour or two. You can run a 3-year Warhammer campaign or any game you like on it.
If you used every tile, this map has to be said, this is a very small map that we're playing off. If you wanted the biggest map ever, you could play this for your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
War over a planet of your own making, you know.
Yeah, but then I don't think it's really worthy of, you know, I'd rather play Rebellion for 4 hours than this.
Yeah. Well, there is that, but you got to think of it in context of its time. There wasn't much like it at the time, you know.
I do quite like these little tactics, like, so with the war, like, it depends. You get bonuses if you're 1,000 points versus 500 points. Then you round up, and then like it'll be +2.
Yeah,
you're that many points above the other guy. So then what's going to happen is you have these little tactics, which are cards, you know. So you got basically 3 little tactics you can do each.
Yeah.
And that'll also influence.
Rock, paper, scissors, and it's all.
Yeah. But I mean,
they do that quite well, because you can be being attacked by quite a larger force, but you can get away with it, can't you? If you roll lucky and they roll unlucky. Like Sai came in with a bigger force there, didn't you? He should have smashed me. If we were playing a Warhammer battle, he would have smashed me, because he always did. But I managed to roll a bit better, and it came out as a draw, and we both just retreated, and he ended up losing about double the number of guys. Just
but
by random.
That's just a random thing. Like this game is just governed by roll a d6.
It's the wind of war and all that. Isn't it?
There's nothing that really pushes. Like, this is a push your luck mechanic. Above anything else. There's no real tactics. The fact that I won that is more the, I don't know.
Because you were orcs, basically.
I was lucky to notice it, and you were just.
I was just like, I want to get that independent city, and I did do.
You got your new city, but you know, overall, I think that the game system it's probably not worth picking out to play, like, because it doesn't really work as a.
It's very, very random.
It's a very long game. And
if it goes the distance, it can go.
There's so many better games than it as well. Like, especially for what it's doing. As I mentioned earlier, I'd rather play Rebellion.
Yes.
Of every reason. The hiding mechanics. So, like, there's a lot of rules in this. For like, you got your flag, and you know, keep everything secret. You know, so keep everything secret. How many points you're going around with. It doesn't quite work as well as you think.
It's a bit clunky, yeah. So that could be 3,000. Well, no, it could be 1,500 points,
or
anything
500.
down to 500.
Yeah, but your opponent doesn't know that. But there's quite a lot of.
So then you bits of papers, you know, folded over. That's my secret, you know.
Yeah.
The deportment of my forces. Or
I do quite like the random. So when you send your scouts in, you roll 2d6.
Yeah.
What did you find? It'll be barren, city. You know, could be an enemy. Could be anything. I mean, we've been lucky enough to have a dragon raid at one point.
Oh yeah, that was the last game, wasn't it? Yeah, the dragons sort of they do like a centipede all around the board. They go choo choo.
Yeah, they come down and they raise everything, and they literally just start killing everyone. And it was interesting. It was funny. It was daft, and I kind of felt like I wish that the game did that a little bit more. I suppose. You know, a lot of the charts just feel very mundane. Really.
Yeah, it's like Baron. Oh, village, city event. Oh, exciting event. You know, I'm going to find something good or bad. It kind of glitters, but I don't know. It's just a little bit too random.
Looking through
a standalone game.
When I read the book first, I was actually quite excited about it. The amount of charts and stuff. To me, I love a kind of a random game. You know, you draw a new tile and this is the thing. Oh, you know, I like it. I like these kind of random encounters. You know, I like that in a game a lot, but to me these random encounters are nearly all the same, you know. So going to a highland, going to a lowland or a river, whatever, they all had the same thing, but they just jiggled up the numbers, so they may as well just be the same chart. And especially the events on it, same thing. It's just like, the potential was there to make it brilliant. Also, this rule book is a bit of a shambles, because it's sort of constantly, it'll talk about the rules of Mighty Empires, and then it'll wane into Warhammer rules instead. And it just sort of doesn't know when to stop talking about Warhammer and when to start talking about Mighty Empires.
There's two rules for most things. It's like, if you are playing a tabletop campaign, now go and read this page in Warhammer 3rd edition or whatever it is, you know. If not, read this paragraph. And I mean, I bought this off eBay, and the guy, thank God, the guy highlighted all, these are the bits you actually need to read. And you can see it's not much of it, so the core game's pretty simple, isn't it?
We'll put this down to the age again, though, because at least this is back in the age when you know they liked.
There's no internet to distract you. Everybody had a free weekend.
Tea or whatever. They just they talk about cookies.
You've got it in for tea, haven't you? So T's in the appendix, isn't it? So the index, yeah.
Not in this game.
Sorry, wrong game.
War Master.
It's go and have a nice cup of tea, and Si just gets infuriated.
Epic does it too.
Yeah.
But so yeah, overall, I think it's.
I do love the tiny little city and village and castle models. Awesome.
Is it? who does this game appeal to? Because it's not the casual gamers, and it's not people who want to.
It's not
argue
board
over
gamers.
rules.
It is a campaign tool. It's for guys who've got, maybe they're 9th agers or they're still playing Warhammer 6, 7th or 8th. And you could build a map, make it coherent. You could all agree that mountain wouldn't be there. Do that. Set out your capital cities evenly spaced, and just slowly play a turn a week. Go away. You've got 2 weeks to do your battles, your Warhammer battles. And I think it will. I don't know, but I think it would work quite well as that. But sadly, that's a bygone era. Pretty much. That is a bygone era now. Unless you're retired or something like that, or you've got a lot of spare time on your hands. It's definitely very pre-internet, and it's kind of like people. You see things on gaming store walls where they've got pictures of the 40k planet with pins and strings in. It's that sort of thing. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
And I think it'd do really well as that. What the later version of it provides you to run a campaign, I don't know. I've never seen it in person, but it'd be interesting to pick that up and have a look what it was. But yeah, as a standalone game, it's a jumbled mixture
There's
of stuff.
a lot of dice. Roll of d6. Whoever rolls the highest is going to swing that advantage. All right, I guess we'll leave it there then.
Yeah.
Cheers for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.